Using our book as an example, let's see how seemingly minor design changes can alter many pages of text. This shows our book formatted in Adobe InDesign before we sent it off for a final proofread. Let's say that on page 1, Jenna and I decide we want to add one more sentence to the last paragraph. Before I do that, let's look closely at pages 2 and 3. Everything is set up nicely. We don't have any widows or orphans. Now I'll add in our sentence, which is 23 words in length. In order to find a goal that will work for you, think about what success means for you once your book comes out. Now let's look at page 2 again. Just one short sentence has completely messed up our carefully formatted list of the 9 common goals in publishing a book. Goal number 2, promotion, is now an orphan sentence at the bottom of page 2. An orphan is one line of paragraph by itself on the bottom of the page. Not only does it look bad, but it makes for an awkward reading experience, forcing the reader to read about the actual goal on page 3. Now let's look at the effects of another change. I'm going to reverse the change I just showed and provide another example. Let's say that Jenna and I wanted to create a new paragraph on page 14 of our introduction section, right here. Look at the page right now for a moment, and then I'll hit the Enter key. Once I do that, you'll notice that the last bullet point on the page jumps to the following page. Look at what else has happened. The start of our next chapter gets pushed 2 pages down. But the chapter head image, the sign, which we are using to label each chapter number, is stuck. Our designer would now need to reformat the start of chapter 1, which includes moving our chapter head image to correspond with the new chapter start. In addition, you can see that our final bullet point, reference episodes linking to our website, is by itself on page 1. Not only do we not want a single line of text at the top of a page, indicating a widow and poor design formatting, but the page numbers would need to be redone as well, as our introduction is paginated with small Roman numerals, and this text, which is part of the introduction, is now reflecting on page 1. Page 1 should always be the start of the main matter of the book, in our case, the start of chapter 1. Let me keep scrolling through to page 13, where you'll see that this change has now introduced even greater layout issues. Now we have a random blank page on the left, so text will need to be reformatted to flow properly from the pages above, and we see the same chapter start issue. Our chapter head image is floating in the middle of the page. What seemed like a simple change to break up a long paragraph has caused a domino effect throughout the entire book. Now, if Jenna and I were dead set on forcing these changes, our designer would have to spend time fixing the design to rectify all of the above issues, adding time and likely more cost to our project. This is why it's so important to be sure you are happy with the final Word document version of your manuscript before you work with a designer on formatting.